Moving into a new house is supposed to bring excitement, fresh beginnings, and the comfort of a new place to call home. But for some people, it became the beginning of unshakable nightmares. And these three true unnerving new house horror stories prove that not every home welcomes its new owners peacefully. Starting with the first story of a young couple who purchased their dream home in a quiet neighborhood. A charming two-story with a white fence and a spacious attic. But from the very first night, the wife complained of hearing dragging sounds above them when the attic was supposed to be empty, followed by the unmistakable sound of footsteps pacing the hall while the husband was at work. At first dismissed as stress until one night when she returned early from a late shift and found muddy boot prints on the stairs, leading down from the attic to the kitchen. Each print still wet as though someone had just walked through. Yet no one was inside when the police searched, until weeks later when they finally discovered a hidden crawlspace in the attic, where a vagrant had been living for months, watching the family and sneaking down at night to steal food, a discovery that left them unable to ever feel safe in their home again. The second story involved a family who moved into a countryside farmhouse that had been on the market for years. The father thrilled at the space for his children to play, but almost immediately the kids began speaking of a lady in black, who they claimed watched them from the corners of their rooms at night. A presence the parents brushed off as imagination until the mother began noticing mirrors, fogging over without reason, handprints smeared across the glass despite no one touching them, and doors slamming violently at night. The worst coming when one evening she went to tuck in her daughter and found the girl sitting upright, trembling, pointing to the closet and whispering, "She doesn't want us here," her small hands shaking as though she were freezing. And when the mother opened the closet door, she felt an overwhelming chill, and saw just for a second the faint outline of a woman's face twisted in anger. Desperate, they brought in a priest who blessed the home, but the family lasted only 2 more weeks before moving out after the father woke up pinned to the bed, unable to move, as a shadowy figure loomed over him, breathing heavily until disappearing as suddenly as it appeared. The third and most disturbing story tells of a man who purchased an old apartment in the city, thrilled to finally own property of his own. But from the first night he felt a strange unease, noticing how the temperature in his bedroom always dropped sharply after midnight and how his dog refused to enter, growling at something unseen in the corner. Things escalated when he began finding objects misplaced, photographs flipped over, and his TV turning on to static at odd hours. And one night as he lay in bed half asleep, he opened his eyes to see a tall, dark silhouette standing at the foot of his bed. Motionless, its head tilted unnaturally, as if studying him. And when he jolted up and turned on the light, it was gone, but the bedsheets were damp as though someone had just been sitting there. Over the weeks his health declined, his energy drained, and friends commented on how pale and hollow he looked, until one of them stayed over and also witnessed the shadow, swearing they heard faint whispering in the walls urging them to get out, a message that grew louder and angrier until he finally sold the apartment at a massive loss, never caring about the money as long as he could escape the crushing feeling of being watched. These 3 true unnerving new house horror stories remind us that not every home holds happy memories, that walls can carry the weight of past traumas, and that sometimes when you step across the threshold of a new house, you may not be its only resident, for homes can hide secrets, intruders or entities that feed off the living, turning a dream home into a waking nightmare that never truly leaves you even after you move away.